brings me to a more personal question, if you wouldn't mind entertaining me for a moment. At what point in your life did you actually come to Christianity? At what point in your life did you come to believe?
When 30 years ago now, when I asked God to, I've been going to church, I read the Bible, I gave tithe and offering, I even did some hooping and hollering in my days, but nothing was changing. I was just talking Christianity, but inwardly, I was not changing. My spirit was not changing. I still had fear and doubt and worry, insecurity, loneliness and sadness, depression. Well, I don't know if I ever been depressed. I guess I have. But I had all that stuff. Even though I was going to church and doing all that, I finally asked God to let me see myself because nothing was working. I said, you know what? I'm done, God. I need to see myself. I can't change myself. And that's when he allowed me to see that I needed to forgive my parents, because if you don't love your father and mother, and love just means don't hate, don't have any anger toward them, because anger is hatred, and hatred is judgment, and judgment is playing God. And so when he showed me that I had anger toward them, I went and forgave them, and my life just changed. I was able to see. I didn't know I was blind until I was able to see. So that's how I became a Christian.
And truly, man, I truly believe in what you say, the idea of forgiving the mother and the father.
Did you go?
The reason that I asked, asked you that question is because I'm actually a former Christian, and I'd like to actually get your personal opinion on this. Like, I've done everything I can to, without religious influence, just to be a good person, to forgive my folks, and to try to live in a moral, let's say, milieu, a moral environment where I value morality. I'm a former Christian in the sense that I don't any longer believe. I think I still have the door open. You know what I mean?
You don't believe what?
I don't believe in any sort of extra terrestrial divine spirit or.
So you don't believe there is a God?
I'm unfortunately in the position where I don't think there is.
You don't believe there is a God?
I do not believe, no.
And what caused you to turn away like that?
Well, the fact that I'm kind of an empiricist by nature, I actually have to have evidence to believe something. And unfortunately, when it comes to the battle against atheism, it's looking like atheism seems to win because we can't provide evidence for God. That's hard. You know what I mean? We can look out at the world and see its beauty, but we can't link that to God. But we can link it to physics. You see what I'm saying?
Do you were you a Christian at one point?
Yes, for a long time. I was a serious believer.
And your parents were Christian too?
No, my folks are. Well, my dad is a ostensible Christian. I don't think he actually believes. He pretends like he's a Christian. And my mother is a complete miscreant.
A complete misfit?
Yeah, she's just a bad human being who doesn't believe in anything.
And so, what turned you off from? You said you were a Christian, really into it at one point. What happened that turned you away from it?
Well, I found myself in a position where I was homeless, and I prayed and I prayed, and I had faith, and I told my wife to have faith, and we prayed together, and nothing happened. I found that no help came.
So you prayed to God to get you out of homelessness?
Yeah. Well, not necessarily get me out of it, but maybe help, you know?
And what did you want him to do?
I didn't know back then. I was an ignorant child, if you might entertain that.
I thought you said you had a wife.
I did have a wife. What I'm saying is, in my mind, as somebody who hadn't come to the educational status that I am now, the enlightenment that I have now, it wasn't there then. I was an unexperienced fool, kind of like Tom.
And so when you wanted God, when you and your wife prayed to God, what did you ask for?
I asked for guidance. I asked to figure out what I should do in this situation.
Were you an
And
adult at the time?
Yes, I was an adult. I was just a child in the mind.
But you didn't know that you should get a job?
Oh, I got a job.
But why were you homeless?
I was homeless because, well, we had grown to rely on my wife's parents in a certain way. They invited us to come stay with them, and we didn't realize that their intentions were bad. And so when we came to stay with them, they, within a month's time, kicked us out and provided actually no real reason. And that was that.
Why did you get married and you were not ready to provide?
Total foolishness. Complete foolishness.
How old were
If I
you?
could go back, I wouldn't do it. I mean, I love the woman I married, but I wouldn't do it like that.
How old were you when you got married?
23.
What made you marry her?
What made me marry her is because she's the only female I ever met that actually has a moral backbone.
That has
What
what?
really draw me into her is that she's the only female I ever met that has an independent moral backbone.
Did you have sex with her before marriage?
Yeah.
What made you think she has a moral backbone then?
Well, the fact that apart from me, she'd only ever had one boyfriend. She was a very intelligent woman. She cared about doing the right thing, even if she failed here and there. She didn't do drugs. She didn't curse. She didn't drink. She didn't smoke cigarettes. I mean, anything that you could use as...
So what made you think she had a moral
moral
backbone if she was screwing you? And the other guy before you?
Well, just sexual, let's say, deviance doesn't, in my mind, constitute somebody that's, immoral. I mean,
But it does. More people don't have sex out of wedlock.
I think I agree with you. And I think I agree with you more now than I ever did back then.
What caused you to agree with me now than you would have back then?
Because I've seen the negative impact of sex on culture. And, whenever you grow up, you watch TV and you watch movies and you watch the liberal media, and they want to tell you that sex is this, sort of evolutionary free lunch.
Yeah.
And that's bullshit.
They want to demoralize you.
They
Are you the head of your wife?
Yeah.
You the head of your wife?
Yeah, as I stand now. Probably not in the past, but now I am, yeah.
And what made the difference?
What made the difference was that I stopped relying on anything to give me my sustenance. I started relying on me all the time.
And how did she react to that once you started that way?
It was, let's say, unexpected, Like, I went from being a total beta male cuck to demanding my rights in the house and demanding that I spend my money where I damn well please.
And how did she react to that?
One aspect.
What? What did you say, the last thing you said?
I said it was sort of unexpected at first on her part, whenever I began to let her know that I will do things as I wish to do, and I will spend my money as I wish to spend it. And that's just one aspect.
And she accept that?
Yeah, for the most part. Not thoroughly, because it's, kind of a process. I mean, you don't just go from living with some beta cuck, coward to living with a guy who's, firm in his manhood overnight. It's also a process.
You have children?
No, not yet.
Oh, good. How long you been married?
4 years at the end of the month.
Why don't you have children already? We need white babies.
I know. I know, but the thing about it is...
You should already have 4 kids.
Well, remember what we were talking about earlier whenever you said, well, why did you get married?
Oh, yeah.
When you weren't ready, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, the same thing applies to children.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for a child.
Oh, well, don't do that.
I'm not monetarily set. I'm not...
How old are you?
I'm 27.
So, you're young. So you're not monetarily set and you're not what?
I don't think I'm emotionally set just yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't like to throw around the word emotional. More like psychologically.
Do you love your father and mother?
That's a good question. I think I did. I don't think I do anymore.
You don't love your father and mother?
No, because my mom is the kind of person that's... See, my sister died last year, and she died because of a drug overdose, and my mom is the catalyst for her being on drugs.
How's that?
My mom has also had an abortion, so I consider abortion murder. So it's very hard to love a murderer. And my dad also influenced a woman to get an abortion, and hard to love a couple of murderers. You know what I'm saying?
Why is that?
Well, I thought maybe it'd be self-evident, but should I love them anyway, you think?
Have you done things in your life that would make you unworthy of love?
Yeah.
So you've done things that you think that people should not love you because of what you've done?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Well, no wonder you feel that way about your parents. If you want to, would you like to know if there's a God?
Yeah.
Then go and forgive. Do you think, let me ask you this. Oh, so you do think it's right to hate your parents, right?
No, I don't think such a thing.
Do you think it's
I
wrong?
think I do because of their actions. It's not that I want to hate them or anything like that. It's just that that's my natural response.
Do you think it's wrong to hate them?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's wrong? You said that they don't deserve love. Why do you think it's wrong to hate them?
Well, I didn't say that they didn't deserve love. I said it's hard to love murderers.
Okay. And so you think that it's wrong to hate them, though, right?
I think so, yeah.
So if it's wrong to hate them, go and forgive them. Do you believe that if they could do better, if they could have done better, they would have, and if they can do better now, they would, if they could?
If you're asking me my personal opinion, no, I do not think so.
You don't think they would do better if they could?
No.
You think they want to be wrong?
Yeah.
You do. You have a serious judgment upon them. Here's what I recommend. If you want to know for sure if there is a God, you need to go and forgive your parents. Realize that they cannot help themselves as you cannot help yourself. And when you forgive them, you would know if there's a God or not.
Well, then I'm going to do this, Jesse, because I respect you, and I have had a lot of fun watching your show. I'm going to go ahead, now that I've had a chance to talk with you, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to call you back and tell you what the response was, and maybe we can go over it.
Yeah, okay. And don't attack.
Happy White History Month, and I love you, dude.
Don't attack them, Garrett. Forgive them. They cannot help themselves as you cannot help yourself. Forgive them, and God will forgive you. Don't ask for forgiveness from them. You forgive them, and God will forgive you, and you will know for yourself if there's a God or not.
I'm going to put it to the test, my friend.
Let me know how it goes, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Amazing. Such a sad way to live. Such a sad way to live. And I can tell in him he really wants what's right.